So welcome to TalkRx with Dr. Neha. So glad you're joining us. We're filming in Bali, and this is Jess, and I'm so glad she's back. She was willing, she had a few more communication questions, so she was willing to come back and join us. So welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back with you.
Yeah, so tell me, what's on your mind?
Well, I've just been thinking about a question that's come up for me, and it's how do you communicate with your friends, your family, your loved ones when you decide to kind of choose an unconventional path and you don't really follow the shoulds and the have-tos of what people think you should be doing or what you should be studying or how you should be showing up in the world, where you decide that you want to do something different and follow a different path, and how do you let them know in a loving way that this is what works for you and what you're passionate about?
Yeah. So I think this is a common one because I think it's not even just once in our lives. I think I've found it almost every decade, It's like I come up with something new each decade. So I think also what I'm hearing is, first of all, that you've taken an unconventional path. What is that? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, after studying marketing and finance and working in the corporate world for a little bit, I decided it wasn't for me. I decided that I wanted to travel the world and I wanted to experience different things in life. So I've been traveling around the world, studying, exploring, cooking on yachts, and studying nutrition for the past 8 years.
And does that fill your soul?
It does. It really does.
Yeah. And so in that space, tell me some of the stories or the shoulds you should kind of, what are the lines that you hear running through your head that people have said?
Well, you should get a real job.
I think that one they're just jealous. Cooking on yachts, I think it's a good one.
Like create a stability, like a stable life. Have something that's grounding. Where's your base? Where do you live? Get married, have kids.
Yeah.
All of those kind of things. Start doing something that's real kind of things.
Interesting.
They have quite a lot of judgment that I'm a bit of a nomad, a bit of a gypsy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is really important because the first thing is you don't have a home. Where do you live?
On a yacht right now.
Right, but I'm saying from their perspective. You don't have a home, and you're not married, and you're not, you don't have kids. Where's your 401k? Okay?
Exactly.
And where's the stability, right? And so the interesting piece of that is when people judge you or give their opinions to you, oftentimes it's our parents and our family who wish well for us.
Yeah.
And that's why they're some of the only people that care enough about those things for us that they would say it, right? And at the same time, make sure you notice that what people say to you, right, is actually more about them and their concerns than it has anything to do with you. So the person who said to you, where do you live anyway, right? Home is very important for that person. The person who said, get a real job, right? On some level, what a real job might mean many things to them, but it might mean like, I care to fit in and belong with society is one thing it might mean. And so other people's opinion of that person really matter to them. So it tells you more about them than it tells you about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it making sense?
Yeah, completely.
And you'll notice certain angles will come from certain people repeatedly.
Yeah. Same story.
Yeah, because they're getting uncomfortable in their body in the face of you showing up without that, right? So it's a really interesting piece to look at. So the first thing, when you let go of that and you say like, what I do is I kind of allow what people say to come in, and then I kind of put it through a little bit of a filter. So I think of it as like my values filter test. So it's like, if you say something to me like, Neha, like, where's your home? Or like, how come you don't have a home? Like, that's not okay. So then I know what my highest values are, my top 3 to 5 values, right? Mine are love, integrity, and service. And right now in my life, actually, I don't actually have a home, right? I've been floating, traveling, kind of having all these experiences, just like Bali. And so I'm resonating with what you're saying, because in the beginning, I was the one judging myself for that.
Me too.
Yeah. And so this is the other piece you really want to pay attention to. The comments people say that stick. You know how when you boil spaghetti, I know as a chef, this isn't very, politically correct, but you know, when I was younger, I used to throw it on the wall, and when it sticks, it was done.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only comments that someone says that actually stick to you are some area in you that still needs to be resolved.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go back to that filter test that I was telling you about. So I know my highest values are love, integrity, and service. So you say, Neha, how come you don't have a home? You really need a home. And I let my values come up and I say, does not having a home align with love, integrity, and service? Yeah, unless I had home underneath love, is one of the ways I defined it, right? So then I ask myself, it goes through that. Then I ask myself, is this something, getting a home right now in my life, is that something that gives me energy and excites me? Or is it something that drains me of energy? And if it drains me of energy, then I say, thank you so much for, bringing this up for me, and it's not the right move for me right now. But if it comes in and it's someone's giving that input and it actually is something that aligns with my values and it inspires me, why not? Right? But I think that's really how you make decisions, right? I call it the two-step decision-making tool, right? But I think the really important piece here is to know that people that give judgments toward you, say judgments toward you when you lead an unconventional life, they're doing it in your best. They believe they're doing it in your best interest.
Yeah.
They love you.
Yeah, completely.
Because some people wouldn't care enough to talk to you or mention it. So they do that brave thing inside them where they muster up the courage to say it.
Mm.
And I think our job then is to receive it, thank them,
Yeah.
and then remember, what is true for me? If I can listen to the sound or the voice of my own heart slightly louder than I can hear the voices of others, I'll be able to navigate my course. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, so what were some of your takeaways?
Well, just to tune into me.
Okay.
That was really quite a big thing, to tune into what's good for me.
Yeah.
And that what other people are saying is usually a projection of their own insecurities or their own kind of outlooks on life.
And what they value.
And what their values.
Yeah.
And that filter test is really going to work for me. It's going to be something I take with me because I don't want all that spaghetti to stick to me.
And I'm sure there's a much more elegant way that a chef knows whether pasta is ready, but it's all that was coming to me.
Absolutely, the good old-fashioned way. I love it.
All right, well, thank
really
you.
Powerful. Thank you.
So for any of you concerned because your family, your friends, random people you don't know make comments and judgments and you feel hurt by that or don't know what to do with that information, make sure that you know that judgments, and it works the other way too, because when someone says to you, you are kind, you are loving, you are generous, it also tells you they are kind, they are loving, and they are generous. So it works on both ends of the spectrum, really. So just know when someone says something to you, it often gives you more information about them than it gives you about you. And then your job is to trust yourself and ask yourself, how does this feel in my body? Does this give me energy? And does it align with what I value? And if so, why not try it? And if not, no I wouldn't say no thank you. What I'd actually say is, thank you for your honesty and your input. I'll take that into consideration, or I'll think about that, right? So I hope this was helpful, and thanks again, Jess, for coming. I so appreciate it. Yeah. And let's go hang out in Bali.
Let's go do that.
So until next time, please write some comments on the blog if you have any other questions, or if you have a different question that you would like to ask about, drop me a tweet at #AskDrNeha, AskDoctorNeha. Look forward to hearing from you.